Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the channel. So women are quite concerned that robots will take their places. You know, we have the dishwasher already taking all the tasks that women perform, and now we have robots that apparently are attractive. Women are quite concerned. So we're going to take a look at this video. The caption says, the way men treat these robots just shows how they really want to treat women if it had no consequences. So we're going to take a look at the dark nature of men and why we are so evil and repulsive. Let's get started, John.
She can bite. She can bite?
Can you imagine what these men are going to do when they finally get their hands on a robot? Let me read some of these very predictable comments. Does it have a drain plug? We really only have one question. We're almost there, men. Lol. I can see the bangers designer got the memo. I like how her poke up instead of sag. I'm only interested in the other half. Why does it talk? Can you it? How flexible? Asking for a friend.
What's the purpose?
Why does it talk? There's another one that says 150k but still far cheaper than a divorce. I mean, hey, makes sense, right, gentlemen? This robot, guys, it probably has a mute button, so you don't have to listen to it blabber about nonsense. It probably doesn't create problems out of thin air. Hey, it can probably even do the dishes, you know? And hey, if you can bang it, hell yeah, you know? Give me a bit of that robot pussy, you know what I'm saying, guys? It won't divorce you, it won't leave you, it won't create problems out of thin air. It won't create problems to which later on it will give you the cold shoulder and not tell you what the problem is. You know, saves you from a lot of headaches, maybe helps a bit around the house. Hell yeah.
How flexible? Asking for a friend.
What's the purpose of this?
But we think there's a much bigger area in having social robots. So she can promote your brand. The AI is all customizable, so she can learn all about you and your brand.
Bought one and she still gets headaches. They can be muted, right? Not tonight, babe. I'm downloading an update.
Wow, these comments are straight up hilarious. So I'm not just obviously joking around, and hey, there are some men that probably will buy this. I won't, because I find that extremely creepy. I don't want to wake up in the middle of the night, have this robot staring at me, you know, like Five Nights at Freddy's. I'll probably the first night this robot is in, I'll punch its jaw because I'm terrified or something. So I'm not really interested in robots, but hey, you can see why men are so tired. They are exhausted from women, you know, and hey, a lot of men have taken as companions dogs, cats, you know, just hang out with their friends more. Men are really, really tired of women and their behavior. And hell yeah, if I have to, I'd rather spend 150k on a robot than 150k on divorce, you know, and having to pay my ex-wife while she shakes up with the Chad next door. No, thank you.
Does it do housework? And as you can imagine, it just goes on and on. This is a different video. Are the parts dishwasher friendly? How far does her mouth open? Not tonight, babe. Battery is low. I'm deleting Bumble. Vacuum mode. Does she get headaches? No bite mode. How many margaritas does it need? Why am I feeling sorry for a robot? Does it give With my luck, I'd get one that doesn't do backdoor.
They're more there to converse with you. It's companionship.
Of course, men are sexualizing female robots because they don't even respect real women. They see us as objects that exist for their pleasure.
I mean, I've always said this, guys, but women are the ones who set their value in the dating market, all right? Men are, let's say, the buyers. Men are the ones who have the last word, whether they're interested or not, but women are the ones who set their value. If all you do is post barely naked pictures on your profiles, if you view dating as transactional and you go out on dates wanting to get free meals, if you use your body as currency, yes, that's all men will ever use you for. If in fact you value your body and you value your time, these evil men that just want to use you, they won't have access to you, right? But let's read some of the comments, gentlemen. There's one here that says that meanwhile women have been using toys robot for years. Yeah, there's no problem, you know, when women use plastic toys, and I can mention these things, you know, on YouTube, but You already use robots. It's mostly women. So there's that. Another one says these men are disgusting. They need robots to have S3X because a real woman will never touch them. Stupid smiley emoji. Well, madam, if you are the type of woman that I should get touched by, no thank you. I'd rather get touched by a porcupine rather than one of these entitled 304s that probably carry like 4 STDs. So no thank you. Another one says, bear. I choose the bear. Good luck with that. We'll see how that goes. Another one says, 70,000 men found out on a chat discussing raping their mothers, daughters, sisters, children. Nothing surprises me anymore. To which the creator replies, exactly, some of them would grape their own family. Why would they stop at robots? Yeah, this is very relatable, by the way. I mean, I don't know about this group, guys. I haven't read the news, but I've been seeing some comments lately. Apparently, there's been like a Discord, I presume, group with some men being absolutely terrible on it. You know what's the difference between those disgusting men talking about things like rape and the type of content we cover on the channel? The difference is that those men, even though they are 70,000, they are a minority. Because I can tell you, most men, if not all, watching this right now, condone this behavior, right? Most men in society don't like this behavior. Are you meaning to tell me that rapers are a majority in a society? No, they are a minority. And the vast majority of men will defend you women from that behavior. You, on the other hand, are far from a minority. The content that we cover on this channel from TikTok is not a minority, guys. This is the average woman. This is the average mindset. All right, maybe not to that extreme, but these women are radical. They are extreme, and they are a majority. Again, not to that degree, but most women nowadays are entitled, arrogant, narcissistic. They view dating as transactional. They are parasites that want to use you as a host. They want to get your money, and then they don't care about divorce. They don't care about vows. They don't care about children. And I personally consider that a majority in the West with modern women. So you let me know if you agree or disagree with that statement. But based on my experience, guys, this is what I see in women. They don't care about you. They don't care about your personality. They are there when it's convenient for them. The moment it's not convenient for them, they'll switch you for another person or they'll divorce you. But now, let's move on to another video, guys.
The realization on
that has, I haven't watched this video, but it has the hashtags misogyny, dissenter men, 4B movement, and women's health, and something with survivor, hashtag all men, hashtag feminist, yada yada. So you know it's going to be good. All right, let's have a listen.
the realization on women's faces when they finally really realize how evil men are and how much they don't like women is kind of similar to the look that you see on a child's face when you first tell them that the tooth fairy isn't real. I know that I'm not the only woman out there on earth right now that feels very, very discouraged and disappointed in the male population. I'm not trying to fearmonger and tell you all that every single man that's walking this earth is evil or is a bad person, but it is few and far between. If you've been on TikTok, if you've been...
I'm going to pause it right here, gentlemen. Say that we hear this opinion from both sides, right? Men are very disappointed in women, and women are very disappointed in men. Again, what's the difference? The difference is that these women only consider a small subtract of men, all right? These women, guys, they are not dating your average men. Average men are invisible. This is why we have the male loneliness epidemic. These women are dating a small subtract of players and bad boys and men who just want to hook up, and then they say that all men are evil. No, not all men are evil. And yes, very good men could be few and far between. Maybe. I don't know. I'm not dating men. I don't know. But as a woman, your chances of finding a good guy are so incredibly higher than those of a man finding a good woman that it's not even close. Okay? It's just not even close. So stop playing victim. Even, guys, I will agree. Good men are few and far between. I will agree. Good people in general are few and far between. But again, as a woman, you always have the possibility to be with a good guy, right? While as a man, you really don't. So with that being said, let's continue.
And anywhere on the internet lately, you have read and you have seen the 70,000 men group chat of all men discussing ways to better abuse us, to find easier ways to assault us, to grape us. This is extremely, extremely alarming, but it is just further proof that it is all men until proven innocent. I am always going to view a man as a threat to myself until proven innocent. This isn't being dramatic. This isn't being ridiculous. This is me treating like every gun that I see is loaded. This is me being a smart woman. This is me having survival tactics. And a lot of women just do not want to come to terms with this, and I understand why. We were spoon-fed romantic movies when we were little girls. Men and young boys were never spoon-fed this type of, I guess you could...
What? That is just not true. That is my experience. That is your experience. That is the next guy's experience. We've been raised with the Disney movies, with how women are flowers and princesses, and how you have to treat them nice, and how, you know, you have to be a gentleman. We've all been taught the same thing. I've been raised 4,000 years ago. You've probably been raised 20 to 40 years ago. We've all been raised the same way, all right? And my disappointment was, as I grew older, realizing that, hey, wait a minute, these women don't want you to treat them nicely. I see my friend over here who was in a 5-year relationship and his girlfriend cheated on him. I see my uncle or some other relative getting a divorce in which his wife, ex-wife, gets all the money while she goes on to bang some other dude. I see, you know, through my relationships, I'm just giving examples, this is not my experience, but, you know, the average experience. I see men constantly getting into a relationship, having a ride or die type of mindset, and for their girlfriends to leave them by saying that the spark is no longer there, going to shake up with some dude in less than 24 hours. That is what I see, you know? And you may have noticed, gentlemen, that you treat these women nicely, you provide them with love, you provide them with care, and they don't care. They just don't care. Love is not enough to keep them with you. Trust is not enough to keep them with you. Your loyalty is not enough to keep them with you. Maybe your resources are the only way in which you can keep them, all right? And you notice this, I've noticed this, you've noticed this. We've started to have manosphere channels online, men sharing their experiences, and we've come to the realization that most women in the West are like this, all right? So don't come with that bullshit that we haven't been raised that way, because that is exactly how we've been raised. And the majority of men, I can guarantee you, they are not born players. They are born as good men that want to have a family just like their fathers and grandfathers did. And you women ruined it. You women started with the rosters, with dating multiple people, with dating transactionally. So now you are reaping what you sow. Deal with it.
Little girls. Men and young boys were never spoon-fed this type of, I guess you could call it propaganda, this type of media growing up. We were watching Disney movies where the prince saves the princess. Men and young boys do not take all of that in growing up. We as women were so brainwashed into thinking that we have to have a man to be happy, to live a happy life, to feel fulfilled, to...
Let me just read the caption. In case you're not watching, we were brainwashed into thinking men had any respect for us. Respect is earned, not given out for free. That they will be capable of true romance, instead of being told the truth about how they overly S3-actualize us and get off on being violent towards us. Again, I haven't seen a lot of violent men, at least not my friends. Maybe it's because I deal with good people. I don't know, there could be violent men out there. I know, just don't deal with them. You know what I'm saying? If I see a violent woman, I'm just not gonna be with her. Again, guys, it just comes back to the problem of these are the men that they choose. They choose the violent ones. They choose the bad boys. They choose the men that only want them for their bodies. You could go for men that not only want you for that. I mean, men, we are quite visual, we are quite extriasexual, so a man will be probably always thirsty for your body. But just go for a man that has so many more things to offer and that is with you because of so many other reasons. But again, guys, these women go for the players, and they know, these women inherently know, that the only way they can keep Chad is by feeding him her body. Right? This is a you problem, madam.
Feel successful. So I understand why so many women are struggling with the fact, and they can't come to terms with the fact that we, in every single culture in the world, in every single continent, and every single country in this world, women are oppressed. I want to make it very clear that of course it's normal to want to have human connection. This is why we're alive. We're humans. Of course we want to have human connection. But I want women to understand, if you want to live your life naive to these facts, to these crazy evil statistics of how men really truly oppress us and how deeply rooted this is in our societies, you're going to live a very long life of heartache and suffering. The difference now and why I think women are a lot more outspoken and realizing so many things is that our generation watched our mothers, our grandmothers, our aunts, and our sisters have the men in their lives abuse them and treat them like garbage. We watched our female elders be severely abused. A lot of us are waking up to this harsh reality, and it's really tough. But I want to leave you with a quote that might help you understand why some women just simply are not choosing to realize how violent men are. I don't know who this quote is by. I'll put the person who said this on the screen. But it says, "Many women, I think, resist feminism because it is an agony to be fully conscious of the brutal misogyny which permeates culture, society, and personal relationships." A lot of women are really uncomfortable admitting to themselves that it is their fathers, it is their brothers, it is their uncles, it is the men in their lives that they keep around. Although I understand why they do this, it is more dangerous to enable this behavior and pretend that it's not happening than to realize this fact.
Well, at least credit where credit is due. She wasn't shouting all throughout the video. But gentlemen, let me know what you think about this. We'll move on to article story now. But you know, I'll have to say, guys, it's true that in the past, a lot of men have been violent towards their grandmothers or mothers or wives or whatever. I've seen that in my family, you know, maybe you have as well. For me, it's always been a person thing. I don't think that a good man, let's say 3 centuries ago, would beat his wife, right? I think it comes down to, are you a good person or are you not? Now, men in the past had maybe the power, you could say, to get away with it more easily, but it's not something that we struggle with today, you know? Today, women have the power, and this is why they initiate most of the divorces, this is why they move on so easily, because they have many options. But again, going back to the violent thing, a good man will never stand for violence. A man beating his wife is not a masculine trait. It's a lack of masculinity trait, all right? So to say that all men are evil, all men are violent, is just absurd. I understand these women's concerns. I understand how you can be very sensitive in this topic when you've dealt with maybe your father beating your mother. I understand it, but you're framing it in the wrong direction, madam. But anyway, guys, let me know what you think about that. And now let's move on to our article story. My 38 female boyfriend, 36 male, of 7 months ghosted me, and after 10 months sent me a message saying, "Hey, what do I do not do?" It really messed me up at the time. He was my first relationship after a toxic 6-year one. I did not see it coming. Sure, he'd been a bit distant the last few days, but he gave no indication it had anything to do with us. Literally 1 day before he ghosted, he told me how in love with me he was. Well, 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 if it isn't the female treatment, guys, this woman got served a bit of her own medicine. women leaving men for no apparent reason at all from one day to the other, and the previous day telling you how happy they are and how in love they are. Men in female-dominated fields, am I right? When he ghosted me, I was flabbergasted. This was not the man I knew. I cried for weeks. I didn't understand what I'd done wrong, or why he couldn't have just communicated with me about what was going on. That prompted me to see a therapist, and that first appointment was about him ghosting me. I tied him ghosting me to my value as a person. It hurt, and it did some damage. She said, well, of course you're hurting. It's an ambiguous loss. You never got an explanation or a goodbye. There was no closure. That is damaging. She said he will probably reach out at some point because they always do. I never understood this "they always do." I've never gone back to an ex. I know some people who've gone back to their ex, but mostly the friends I have haven't gone back to their ex. A man with self-respect will not go back to his ex. If he's left that relationship, or was being left out from that relationship, why in the hell will he go back? I don't understand this. Men texting you just because they want to shake up with you again is not coming back, alright? I told her I highly doubted that. She said one way I could get closure might be to take my power back by sending him one last message, calling him out for being a coward, because no man wants to be thought of as a coward. The goal was not for him to message back, it was to give myself the closure I deserved. So I sent him this message 3 weeks after the ghosting. I get it now. I only wish you had the courage to tell me it was over. He never replied, but it immediately made me feel better. I moved on. I went on first dates with different men, enjoying getting to know new people. Then I went on a date with my now boyfriend, 44 male. He is incredible. He's everything no man I've ever been with has been, in all the best ways. You see these guys? This is what I'm fucking telling you with women, right? This is what I told you on the last TikTok. If these women will stop their asses from going over and over and over to the fucking bad boy, they will just succeed. It's that easy. You have all the options in this world. This woman got left out from a relationship. She could go on 40 first dates in the matter of a week, alright? Women have options all the time, just all the time, from all sorts of men. Just pick the good one. It's that easy. He won't be violent. He won't want to grape you and his daughter and your sister and your mother. Just pick the good one. And that's it. You found a boyfriend, even though, what was she? She's 38, gentlemen. She's 38. This is not even a woman that is in her 20s and is extremely attractive. This is a 38 post-wild woman coming from 2 toxic relationships, and she still managed to find someone. You see how easy it is. Just stop lying, please. Oh, there are no good men. Stop lying. Is everything no man I've ever been with has been, in all the best ways. There you have it, and they lived happily ever after. So imagine my surprise when 30 minutes ago I get a message saying, hey, from the ghost. LOL, my first thought was my therapist was right, they do come back. I have no desire for any type of anything with the ghost. I am so beyond happy and in love with the man I'm with now. But there is not insignificant part of me that wants to know what the ghost has to say. I don't care if he's messaging me because he feels badly for ghosting, or he realized no one else wanted him, so he's crawling back, or he's in a dark place and needs someone to talk to, or if he's just bored. He's probably just bored. I do not care. I am curious about what he has to say though. If I don't message him back, it will feel like an itch I can't scratch. I just want to know why this man who showed me so little respect messaged me after almost a year. What would you do? Message him and say what? Not message him? Okay, so how do I stop myself from always wondering what exactly it is this ghost had to say? Well, gentlemen, you let me know what you think. You let me know what you will have done. In my experience, don't talk to him, especially now that you have a boyfriend, I think. Just don't text him. What are you doing texting your ex? You're already happy with this new one. No? So stop being so curious. Curiosity killed the cat. But gentlemen, we'll end on this thought. Again, for women it's easy. Stop lying to us. You have thousands of options. Just stop lying to us. This is a 40-year-old woman. She may look good, but she doesn't look 20 years old good. You know what I'm saying? And she went on like dates, I don't know how many, maybe 2,000. These women have so many options. Just pick the good one. Now she lives happily with a man who respects her. And that's that. It's that easy. Just pick the good man. You know, I'm so tired of these guys. Women playing victim all the time. My hell, it's so easy for you. You're playing on rookie difficulty and you still cry all day. All men are rapists. All men are evil. No, they aren't. No, they aren't. Just because good men are invisible to you, because you're constantly in a rush to chase Chad, doesn't mean that all men are evil. Stop crying. Stop bitching about it. Choose the right man, and that's it. Men, we don't have that luck, right? We can't simply go for the nice women because there aren't enough for all of us. There are some good women, but few and far between. We can't get with a good woman, all right? But we'll end it on that note. Gentlemen, you let me know what you think, and I'll see you next time. Have a good one.